Hey YouTube, thank you for being here. I'm excited. City Beauty lip oil first thing because sister's lips are dry. And so I'm going to show you what we're going to use today. We are going to pair 2 of my lethal BYOPs, which my members helped me to name, and so they will forever have a special place in my heart. Yes, I'm knocking stuff over. So we're going to be pairing, this one is called Anxiety because this shade here is Dark Matter. The very first time I used it, I was not ready and it got away from me, this shade right here, and I was just like, whoa. And this is a pretty shift too. But yeah, so they named this one Anxiety and I'm like, that really fits. And so I used it twice after they named it, and I am no longer anxious about it, which is great. This is my newest one because I mixed up another palette, and I do have some lethal the lethal BYOPs in my Mercari store. Mercari link is down below. This one, they agreed upon the name of Spiced Cider, and then another member has said Cousin Roberta, because when the palette is beige, she calls it Beige Becky BS, and so she said, this isn't quite Beige Becky, this is Cousin Roberta. And I thought that story was so awesome. I said, okay, this is going to be Cousin Roberta's Spiced Cider. So we're going to be pairing both of these. As I do the looks, I'm not going to hold up the palettes since we're going to be using 2 of them, but I will call out the shade names in case you do shop lethal and you think, wow, that is really nice, I want to get it. Let me show you what they look like together. Let me do that before we prime the eyes and do the intro. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. So Anxiety at the, excuse me for that glare, Anxiety at the top and Cousin Roberta Spiced Cider at the bottom. So this is what we're working with, and I am excited. And I really love Lethal's formula. I find that I don't care too much for the BYOPs. The one I loved was Jolena, and that came in a mystery box, and so I used it until it died. But I'm like, that one was nice, but there are other ones I was kind of and so I am more geared towards the BYOPs, and I have had these for years. So we're going to prime the eye, do the intro. I'm looking at my eye primer and I put it right in front of me so I wouldn't have trouble finding it. How did that work out? Inner rims I put on all 3 of these are MAC Color Excess gel pencil eyeliners. On our inner rims we have on, oh, I thought we had Stay the Night. This is Hellbent, and that's, no we don't. Yes, yeah, blue. We have this on our inner rims. It's looking brownish, but it is like a bluish, I think. So that's on our inner rims. On the second half of lower lash line, we have Sick Tap Bro. Y'all, this is done. This is done. I don't know if I have a backup or not, but it is done. But even using this little nub, it was like just so scratchy. I'm like, okay, this is seriously done. I thought I had another use out of it. No, I do not. So I do use up quite a few of the products that I have, which is great. And on the first half of lower lash line, it feels like it's an eyelash in my eye or something. On the first half of lower lash line is The Last Word, and that's the color of that one. And so we're going to be playing with the greens and some of the dual chromes in here. And I had a plan, but then I keep switching the plan like in my mind. So I'll just call out the names because they are BYOPs. If you decide to put a palette together and you're trying to think, what do I want to get? This may be helpful to you. So let me do the intro. I don't know why I'm just feeling like, you know, I haven't done a video in like 3 days. Today is Saturday. And I did a live Thursday. So this only is like the second day I didn't do a video. Well, really one, because Friday I didn't do a video. Thursday I did the live stream. So I didn't do a look. I didn't play in makeup. But I just feel kind of weird. And I know some of y'all can relate to it, where if you don't do videos for a little while, when you sit down and do one, it's like, oh, what's happening? But girl, it's only been a day. It's been 1 day you ain't do a video. I know. It's the weirdest thing. No, it's not the weirdest thing. I'm weird. Let me do the intro. Hello again and welcome. My name is Dion. I call this the crazy troll nation of YouTube. Why do I call it that? Some people ask. The crazy part is a crazy concept. Check this out, y'all. Y'all gonna be like, oh my gosh, the audacity. I know. The crazy part is not caring too much what the beauty, no, it's not caring. Wait a minute. Where am I at? The crazy This is all part of the crazy. This is not scripted. I really just be like, what? The crazy is knowing it's okay to be your authentic self in a world where people will tell you who and how you should be. Like all of that just happened. I think most other content creators would edit that out, but no, because that's part of who I am. Sometimes I am 100% goof troop, and I tell people that. So knowing it's okay to be yourself, your authentic self, in a world where people will tell you who and how you should be is very freeing, just to be who you are. The troll part is not caring too much. This primer is almost done because it is dry. It is dry. And before you say take the stopper out, I did it once and it dried out even quicker. So I'm like, I'm not doing that again. Not caring too much about the beauty community standards. You set the standard for yourself. Try not to feel like you need to use a particular brand, tool, or technique because whatever video you're watching, that's what they're saying you need to do. No, I'm gonna tell you what you need to do. Do what you want to do. Use whatever brand, whatever tool, whatever technique you want to. If you want to try all the things, try all the things. And I do encourage experimenting with your makeup and just, you know, trying new things. But try new things because you just want to see what will happen. You want to see if you'll like it or not, or you just want to play around and do something different. But try not to do things because you feel obligated to somebody you don't even know just because you like watching their videos. Boo-boo, you pay for your own stuff. You know what I'm saying? Rock what you want to rock. Wear it and rock it with confidence. Here at the Crazy Troll Nation, I don't know about any other YouTube channel, but here we believe in self-acceptance and self-love, embracing your natural features, enhancing them if you want to, when you want to, but never feeling like you have to. Listen, love yourself for who you are and for how you look, even when you're not wearing face paint. That is the ultimate bottom line. That is the ultimate bottom line. Self-acceptance and self-love. So I hope that resonates with you. If that's your first time hearing it, I hope you're like, oh my gosh, that is great. I'm going to subscribe. I do hope so. But if that resonates with you, I hope it really does. And for those of you who have been with me for a long time, I do hope that that is one of your daily affirmations. Just love yourself for who you are and for how you look, even when you're not wearing makeup. Self-acceptance, self-love. That's what we do here. So here, being a troll is a good thing. It's like, I'm going to be me and I'm going to wear what I want to wear. Period. With a T. And so I was talking to one of my official troll kin, which is what I call my channel members. And I was saying that it's humbling when people see the vision and they get on board with the vision. And I was telling her how, what shade are we going to start with? That has a shift in it because that looks blue. This is not what we're using, but I see blue in this shade right here. I'm like, what? And I was saying how, because my intro is the way it is. And then I thought, okay, but what are we going to call it? And I'm like, the Crazy Troll Nation. And in the beginning, people didn't want to say that. They didn't want to say, you know, she's a troll. And when people would say it, they would kind of laugh and say, those are her words, not mine. And so I'm like, it is okay. Like, troll here is a good thing. It's just we are who we are and we rock what we want to wear. And we're going to take, we're going to take FRB. And as time went on, people started saying, Dion the troll, Queen troll. And I'm like, yes, because it caught on and people were like, you know, when you hear the message as you did the intro, it's like, yeah, I'm a troll, darn it. 2 tidbits about me I usually say at the end of my intro, which I forgot. One is I curse because I curse, and I remembered I didn't say that because I was about to curse. And the second tidbit about me, there's an organism right here named Bruce that lives in my throat. He likes to randomly hiccup, gurgle, and belch in videos. I try to be aware of him to say, excuse me, see, don't talk them up. Sometimes I'm not aware though. So if you hear him making noises and I don't say, excuse me, I was not aware. I was probably just wherever in my head thinking of what I was saying or something and I just wasn't aware. But when I watch stuff back on YouTube, I'll be like, girl, you ain't hear or feel that in your throat. No. And y'all like, how can you not? I know it's weird. I'm weird. I'm different. So that's what we stand for. Those are 2 little tidbits about me. I am so glad you're here. I'm excited to be getting back to my lethal. I think I have at least like 7 lethal BYOPs, and I need to use them more. I do need to use them more. I am excited. I have a few busy work projects brewing, and I'm just excited. I'm excited about the new year, to keep moving forward with makeup here and on a professional side. Now we're going to take, we're going to take Cryptic. FRB was from, I don't think the palette name matters, but FRB came from Anxiety, and Cryptic is coming from Cousin Roberta's Spice Cider. So we're going to put that here. So we're doing the light to dark thing. And so as we go out further on the lid, and we are blending these together, y'all, I love the formula. I love the formula. The thing with their pre-made, some of the formulas are different. And I know, you know, brands do that. But I just, what was it? The Spellcraft palette. Half of those shiny metallic shimmer shades in there, I could not work with them. They were really beautiful, and I like the looks I did, but they gave me such a hard time. I'm like, this ain't it. I want my makeup to work for me. I don't want to work for my makeup, because I already paid for it. I worked for it. I got it. Okay, help me help you. Like, help me help you make me look good. Or I should say better, because I know I do look good. Right? Right? And so I did put it on Macquarie, and it sold rather quickly. I was trying to see if that was creasing. If I don't put shadow on quick enough, because I do have hooded eyelids, it will crease in there. But the good thing is you can't see it really if it is creasing, unless I do like this or do this. But I still don't want it to be creased. So yeah, so when people got on board with it, and it is something to be proud of. Yeah, I'm a troll. I am myself, and I wear what I want to. It is that simple. And not to be so sensitive, like, oh, was this person going to like it? What are they going to say? And also, in that same vein, we don't scrap looks here. We don't. We're going to double down, keep doing more and more stuff, until we get something that we like. And I hear, you know, in videos, oh, I started a look I didn't like and I took it off. How are you going to learn if you just keep taking stuff off? You know what I mean? And if you just really don't like it, just make it into something you do. Like, just recreate that look. Because you, just how they say you can turn a daytime look into a nighttime look, you don't have to like take it all off to, you know, turn it into something else. But yeah, we don't scrap looks here. And that's one of the reasons I enjoy doing long form content, because y'all going to see that if there's a struggle, y'all going to see the struggle. If I mess up, y'all going to see it. You're going to see me fix it, you know. And that's important, I think, in our makeup journey, is to know that it's okay. Sometimes you just trust the process and just, you know, keep working at it. I want to take, we're going to take Biome from Cousin Roberta's Spice Cider, and just don't give up. Just keep trying. And even on the pro side, like if I'm working on a client and I'm like, and I try to really keep a straight face, because sometimes my face speaks for me, and I don't want them to be like, why is she making that face? Like, what's the matter? So I might be like, and then I'll just keep working at it till, you know, I like it, and I think that they will like it. And when I'm done the look, I'll give them a mirror and be like, what do you think? And they'll say, well, what do you think? You're the professional. I'm like, but that doesn't mean everything. So what I tell them is, it's more important for me that you like it, because you're paying for a service. And I don't want you to get out of my chair and deep down inside you're like, she says she loves it, but I don't know. You know what I'm saying? And you know what they say to me 9 times out of 10? Thank you, I appreciate that. And sometimes they'll just be like, oh wow, thank you. And sometimes they will. Usually 9 times out of 10, thank you, I appreciate you saying that. Because it's not about what I think. Like, yes, I'm gonna do the best job I can do, but it is important for me, even if I love the look. Oh, okay. Goodbye. Excuse me if that freaked you out. What is that? Piece of eyeliner. Yeah, even if I love it, that doesn't mean that they're gonna love it. Like if their preferred aesthetic is different than what I'm doing, because sometimes people do want to try something new, and then they're kind of like, I know I said this, but I have not had that happen. I should say not yet, because you know sooner or later something wacky is going to happen. Now we're going to go into anxiety, and we're going to actually take anxiety. So I'm liking this look, and this is Cousin Roberta's Spice Cider, because there's two golds. FRB, that first shade, that is a dual chrome. There is some green in there. Queen, excuse me, and Cousin Roberta's Spice Cider, that's just a straight gold. Excuse me, and they both have other greens, but different shades of greens, and so they do have some overlap within a color story. This shade is super creamy, and I am trying to pick it up on the brush. Like, you see this dip in here? It is just like when I do this, it actually moves it. You see that dip? Y'all see that? It actually just so I'm like making shapes in here, trying to get the shadow onto the brush, and it does pick up. It does pick up. This is how it got away from me, because I'm like, oh, that's not a lot on the brush. I put that on. I was like, oh shit. And I didn't use it for a long time after that, because I was just like, I was anxious about it. And I would open the palette and I would be like, then I would close it and pick another palette to use. Yo, I was shook if I was just like, ooh. But then once they named it and I started using it again, I'm like, you know what? Okay, now I'm ready for it. That first time I used it, I was not ready at all. And so I do encourage you, try new things with your makeup, new techniques, new shapes. Janessa and I made a pact. We added on to our pact from 2024, which we finally let go, which was to get our winged eyeliner straight. And sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. And so we carried that over into 2025. Now we're both comfortable with where we are with our wing liner. And so for 2025, we agreed to do different shapes, to work on doing different shapes and not always doing the same shapes of our shadow, our eyeshadow look. And we did agree already to carry that over into 2026. And so that'll be the only thing. I believe that's the only thing. Yeah, because we're not doing, well, we're still going to, you know, we're always going to do wing liner. Usually, most times we're going to do wing liner. But that's not our pack this year. So, well, for 2026. But our pack this year, I keep saying this year like it's here already. 2026 is just to do different shapes. And this is one of them, because even though a lot of times I do try to get it pointed, this side is usually the way I want it. This side usually ends up round. And so for this to be here and for this to come straight, like this is good. This is good. And this seems to have like a gap right here, which I think we're going to leave it because we are going to put a shadow up there. So that'll help that. And so this is one of my go-to shapes, getting both sides as symmetrical as possible. That's the part right there, the symmetrical part. So this shade, as you see, this shade, it gets dark, and I had used the Hourglass number 3 brush the first time I used it. That's the blending brush, this one, and you see how it's wider than this brush. And so I put it on the center and I went swoosh, and I was like, and then I'm trying to blend it, which just made it go higher and higher, and I was just like, oh my gosh. And I did get something that I liked. It was a little janky, but it wasn't like the worst thing I'd ever done. But I was shooketh. I was shooketh. But I'm ready for it now, and I do love this shade. I love the shift in it. They do say when you work with multi-chromes and dual chromes, use 2 at the most on the lid, because what helps you to see the shift is there being a long enough swatch of the shadow for the light to bounce off of it. And so do as I say and not as I do, because this third shade is a dual chrome, is a dual chrome as well. And this shade is the dual chrome. But what I do like about when I pair or use 2, 3, 4 dual chromes, multi-chromes, again, you're not going to see that one single shift. But when you look at this entire lid, like look at this one over here, when it gets to here, it just flows together. You see what I'm saying? And so even though it's 2 different dual chromes, it just works. And then this shade flows into, you know, the green. And this has a shift in it too, a subtle shift. This is like a greenish gold. And so it just looks like a multi-chrome on the lid. And so some people, multi-chromes and dual chromes, I don't know how I got off on this little teaching moment here that most of y'all probably already know, is just take a multi-chrome and dual chrome. And a lot of people use their hands for makeup. I don't. Instead of using my fingers for makeup, I use a sponge tip applicator, which mimics a finger application. So people still try to tell me, oh, you need to. I'm like, no, I don't need to do anything. I need to do what I want to do. But some people will just take a dual chrome, multi-chrome on their finger and just put it all across the lid. And then they may deepen the outer corner with something. They may put something on the lower lash line, and the look is done. It is so simple. It is so easy. And because it is a multi-chrome or dual chrome, when you put it all across the lid, you still, if it's a dual chrome, you'll see the 2 different colors. If it's a multi-chrome, you'll see at least 3. Like when you turn your head, that one color, you'll see 3 different colors. And so it seems like you did a lot more work than you did, because they're like, oh my gosh, look at all those colors. Girls, one shadow when you do that. But it does give the illusion that, yeah, I did a lot of work. And you be like, I didn't. I just put it on like that and put on my mascara and went out to work. But that's what it'll do. It'll make it look like you did more than you did. And so I'm trying to get this point out here, but this is where the primer stops. And one thing I have learned, if there's no primer out here, shadow ain't gonna stick. But we're still trying it though, right? Yep, we are. I started to record my base face, and I was going to call it my first base face tutorial of 2026. And then I thought, wait a minute, you see when this aired, right? And I had already planned it to air today, so I'm like, this won't be the first one in 2026. We are going to, I don't know when I started doing this, when I'm thinking about things. I don't know. I used to go, I just be making up stuff. So I'm looking to see what I want to put for transition. I'm thinking we're going to do 2 transition shades. So I'm going to take out another one of these brushes. I have a lot of brushes. We're going to take from Cousin... Yeah, that'll work. Cousin Roberta Spice Cider. We're going to take this shade called Replica. And that's what that looks like. It's not going to look that bright on, I don't think. And when I'm doing this, I'm just shaking it off, or you can tap it off, or, you know. So this is going to go in the first half under our brow, the first half of our brow bone. And that just blends in with the lid shades. You see that? And there is still shadow on the brush. And so it's mostly on this side, as you see. So we're just going to just swipe that right there. We're going to tap in. I will say that their matte formula, in the palettes I have anyway, in my BYOPs, they are a little powdery, whereas of course the metallics, the shimmers are not, and the dual chromes are not. I don't mind it though, because there's more shadow in here that lasts me a lifetime. So yeah, or until they turn. I think I've only had maybe 2 over years turn, and they were shadows, excuse me, I've had for like 3-4 years, so I was not at all upset. Now we're going to go, oh snap, we're going to take Spawn from Anxiety. I was thinking of Esteem, but that's also in Cousin Roberta's, and so this one is a little darker. We're going to go lightly. We're going to go lightly because this is a darker shade, and we're going to put a little bit over here on the top of our wing shadow. Yeah, that's a little bit darker. When I pair palettes, it's my goal to use equal number of shades from both palettes, and so that's why I didn't want to take that second shade, which is a lot lighter than this one, for this half of my brow bone area and over here. But that worked out nice. I like it. Everything just, y'all, we're gonna just feather this on that line right here. What kind of color eyeliner am I gonna put on? Do I want to punk it out and put like a yellow? And the look I did Thursday, one of my members said that and I didn't do it, and then like after the fact, I'm like, you were right, I should have did it. I'm going to take Mood Light. Now you know what, I do have one Luminous Light. We're going to take some more of Luminous Light, and we're going to put that under our eyes, because that will camouflage the fallout, because this does have some shimmer in it. And so I never make a big deal out of fallout. I've never had it where it's like, oh my God, this is horrible. Because I'm able to just work with it. And so, and because this is so bright, like y'all see how it does brighten under my eyes. And again, I do have this all over, and then I did put on dim light also. And of course, House Labs bronzers, blushes, highlighters. So we did that. And so, girl, you look good. Thank you. I know. What are we doing now? What are we gonna put lower lash line? Putting this brush home because we did not use that one. Oh man, let's see. We could do, we're going, oh, that'll be nice. We're going to take Queen, the one I told you that's brighter than FRB, and we're going to put that in the first half of our lower lash line. And we are going to cover up that green. It's always interesting to me to see what color the shadow will turn, if it turns, putting it over a pencil liner on my lower lash line. So I don't know if you can tell that it's brighter, but it does not have a shift, but in the pan it's definitely a lot brighter. Wow. I should have put more of that finishing powder on after I did this because this is falling out just a little bit. So, oh, that's pretty. Oh my gosh, we were also talking about, as quite a few people are, the Pantone Color 2026 Billowy White. What? You being kidding me? And somebody had said, people are going to be using bright white highlighter under their brow. And I said, actually, every now and then, I do put a white under my brow. Yes, I took this out to put just for my brow arch. Because every once in a while, I will do that. But I'm like, how is that? Color of the year for 2026 Billowy White. And it's never been that shade since 1999 when they started doing Pantone Color of the Year. Who picks these colors? Now we're going to take Event Horizon, the one next to Dark Matter that I said has a nice shift to it as well. It's black base, and I love black base dual chromes and multi-chromes. Yeah, these two together, Dark Matter and Event Horizon. Man, one of the shifts are the same. So they do have one of the, excuse you, Bruce. And even putting them next to each other, they do flow very nicely into each other. So one of the base shades is the same. I don't know which one. And so, wow, this is nice. This is nice. I really like this. So maybe 2027, it'll be like smoky black. I'm just like, who makes this stuff up? Like, what the heck? Billowy white, how is that a color? And when I Googled it, it was like a puff of smoke. And I'm just like, yeah, that is billowy white. Or a cloud or something. I'm just like, and this year's Mocha Mousse, like that was boring. I'm like, that's my complexion. I'm like, I'm gonna take a little bit more luminous light. I don't, like, who makes this stuff up? Like, who? And it does say like who the, well, not necessarily who the people are, but like it's this whole committee thing or whatever. And it's just like, yeah, but these are boring colors. And that's relative, because somebody will be like, oh, that's the most pretty thing ever. I'm like, you can barely see it. It's billowy white. What are you talking about? We're going to take, we have used equal numbers so far. Ooh, I'm looking at Runaway, which is like a swampy, yellowy, green, gray from Cousin Roberta's Spice Cider. And we're just going to put this under here. This is nice. I like this look, y'all. Thank you for being here with me to create this look. More and more people are finding me, and not to say it like I know people don't find me. So what I mean to say is more people are reaching out to me with questions. And I'm like, oh, wow. That's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. And I usually have content on it, which is good too, because then I can just say, oh, that's in this playlist or that's in that playlist. Like a week ago, I think someone asked me what skincare I use, and I went, because I was thinking, and I said, actually next week I have 2 videos coming out. One, when I got up, I did my wake up skincare routine, and then before I went to sleep, the next morning I did my night skincare routine. So I said those will be coming out sometime next week. And she was like, "Oh, thank you." And so luckily, or thankfully, or just, you know, whatever, when people ask me for something, I can usually direct them to a playlist or even a specific video. And I'm like, that is pretty freaking cool. Because it is about seeing things, you know what I mean? Like seeing how stuff works, seeing how it applies, because I did actually do the routine here. We need to do our upper lash line. We are done with the palettes, and so we did use equal numbers. No, we didn't, because this was an extra one down here. What we can do, we're going to even it out. We're going to take that white that I showed you, that I said to me looks like it has blue in it. We're going to take that one for our upper lash line. No, we're not. Brow arch, and we're going to take this little pencil. So this will be equal shades, and so what we use, 1, 2, 3, 4 from each palette. And I like just a thin strip, like just right here. And sometimes I do take it all the way across, but just that light strip, just in that one place. I just love how that looks, because sometimes you won't see it, and then sometimes you will. So it's just like, what? I'm like, I know, right? Just a little bit. And that's all we're gonna do with that. I have a members live tomorrow, which will have come and go by the time you see this. I think I'm scheduling, well, you'll see when I'm scheduled. You'll see when it's scheduled. So I don't need to tell you when it's gonna be scheduled, because you'll see it. I do have some of that shadow in my brow. That shade was Idle. And I have a speck over here. I have some in my brows. Okay, so this side, there's more here than here, and it's because my muscle structure is not symmetrical. And this area of my face, well, actually my whole face is not symmetrical to the other side of the face. So we're going to close up these palettes. Thank y'all for being with me. What are we going to do? I think do I want to do a yellow for upper lash line, or is that going to be a little too much? You're going to hear a clink as I put these brushes in my to be cleaned container. Oh man, I'm gonna put this away since I didn't use that one. And so there's your color of the year. Except it's not billowy because it's bright. So we're looking at here. There was a black one that came with this bundle. It's a bundle of 10. The palette is only 9. So I put the black elsewhere because I don't often use the black for my upper lash line. But I'm thinking of putting this one on my upper lash line. This is Banana Boom. And I'm thinking of using this yellow right here. We're going to do it. And these are water activated liners. And so I do have what's here. In here. The lid. And then there's one of these, which I used this for skincare once, and I'm thinking this would help it not dry out. The cream is still dried out, and I'm just like, you know what? Why I was playing with my emotions like that? So we're going to dip the brush in the water. Do I want to use a thinner brush? I think I do. Did I wet you already? This brush is stiff. And I like it for this area, but when I get to over here, it skips. And also because my hair follicles are also not in a straight line, sometimes it'll skip over a line and it'll look like there's a bump. So, okay, Banana Boom. I was going to go into that white. So Banana Boom, we're taking the yellow. And if I think it's too much water on the brush, I will just tap it. This is the palette that I use for primer and foundation. So I'll just tap it on there, and then I will put this brush is stiff. It's good for this though, but I can't, it's hard for me to do this part because it doesn't really bend. You can't see what I'm doing. My apologies. But you'll see on the other side. Oh, that's nice. So here, and I do small strokes that decreases the chances of it getting away from me. So like right here is where it becomes difficult because the bristles don't bend. And so then I end up just coming up this way. And between the two, my left eye and my right eye, this side is usually janky until I put more of the liner on it to make it a little bit thicker. And I don't like to do it too thick because my eyelids are hooded. If it's too thick, when I look up straight, it'll transfer up here. So I do like it that it's stiff, but at the same time, I don't for this area here and like over in this corner. So we're going to do another pass with that. So we're dipping just lightly in the water, just the tip of the brush. That still kind of look like too much. So we're going to tap on here again, and we're going to layer on this side first. And it does dry like fairly quickly. I mean like 10-20 seconds quickly. So you can just go back and layer right away, and you see that it is more vibrant when you layer. But the key for me was learning like how much water, you know, not too much, not too little. So it is a learning curve to it. So I am glad we chose this color. So this punks it out a little bit with this bold color. We're going to, do I need to dip the brush back in it? Yep. Do I? Maybe, well, yeah, but let's just start our line. And we're going to go back over it like we did with the liner on upper lash line. So we can make it a little bit darker. Not darker, but more bold. So we dipped the brush in the water again. Now we have the water on the brush and the liner. And I did put like way too much, and so yeah, I did put way too much. It didn't look like it though, because I thought I just put the tip of the brush in the water, but apparently I'll put more than that. So we're gonna bring this out again and bring it back in. Yeah. Yep. I'm gonna bring this out. We're gonna bring it back in. This is looking a tad patchy. Trying to get it tapered. Because we did get this side somewhat tapered. And so I have been more happy with my brows lately, not my brows, my liner lately, my lash line liner lately. This has that accidental swoosh that I used to always do. Always. I don't do it as much now. But we did it today. But I am content. I am content with the brows. So I'm gonna close up this water. Do we need to change it? Yeah. So put the cap back on it. And so we're done with the liner. Mascara. Figure out what to do with the lip. We're going to, where's my mascaras? I think my Tower 28 Lancome Sills Booster XL Mascara Primer. I'm gonna put this on. And so right now I'm trying to think of what lip I want to do. And I don't know. I want to get rid of Coral Sunrise, Sunset, Coral Sunset. Sometimes I like it and sometimes I don't. I had it over at my desk to declutter it, and the reason I put stuff over there is so I can take it out of my inventory, because I do keep an inventory list of my stuff. Tower 28, the shade is Drift, is brown. Grace that sent this to me, and I really like this formula. And it's just weird because sometimes I like it and sometimes I don't. I don't know if it has to do with whatever eye look I have on or what. I used it in the live stream Thursday, and I liked it after, you know, I lined my lips with like 2 different liners. But it's like, I don't want to have to do all of that, you know what I mean? I initially purchased it, I think, to do an ombre lip with, but I've since decluttered a lot of my lipsticks, and so it's just hanging out here but I'm thinking I'll use it today. Like, I don't know. And it's described as matte orange brown, so it seems like it would go with the look. My favorite lip color, for those who don't know, is black. And sometimes I'll tap a shadow on top of it, and y'all, it'd be so pretty. I'm gonna close that up. We're gonna use the City Beauty Beyond Mascara, and this is gonna go on our top lashes. So do I really want to do that lipstick? I really want to use a black, or like just a dark brown. I like dark lip colors. And I know some people prefer lighter colors. Some prefer bold, some prefer shimmers. I don't buy a lot of glosses, even though I have 5 from MAC, their Lip Glass Air. Because there are quite a few times, even if it's like a dark liquid lipstick like this one that's Hydraulic from MAC, I will just have a shadow on top. And so you can make your own color, you know what I mean? And also make it shiny or glittery, or shimmery, I should say. And so the one thing, like how I said it was interesting when I put gel pencil liner on my lower lash line, and then I put a shadow on top, like, is it going to turn into a different color, or like what it's going to do? That's the excitement, the same type of excitement I get from if I have on, you know, a black lip or a dark red lip, or, you know, a dark brown. And if I tap a dual chrome shadow on top of it, it's like, what is this going to look like? Like, is it going to look, you know, like the regular dual chrome colors if I was putting it on my eyelids or not? So just seeing what it turns into. And I do usually always like it. And if I don't, I'll just put something else on top of it. Why? Because we don't scrap looks here. I had a situation, and it was really bothering me because I was considering not keeping that content, but I also say we don't waste content. And so when I brought it up to my members, you know what their response was? When I'm like, because I told them the situation, and I'm like, well, this is how I'm feeling about it. You know what they said? We don't scrap content here. I'm like, damn it. I'm like, so when I say people took hold of the Crazy Troll Nation and our motto and how we roll, like, they are serious. And I said, you know what, y'all right. And that's what was bugging me about it, because I'm like, if I don't post this, I'm not going to feel right when I say next time, you know, we don't scrap content, which is different than the look, because it was just like a commentary thing. But I still felt some kind of way about it. Like, okay, why be saying we don't scrap looks, we don't scrap content? Here I am thinking of scrapping this video I did. They were like, we don't scrap content. I was like, damn it. And I was like, you know what, y'all right though. And that is something I say quite frequently. So how am I not going to do it? And so I'm going to put this lipstick on. If I don't like how it looks, I'll tap maybe this green on it. What shade was that? I don't remember, but I know it if I open the palettes are closed up. So we're going to take the, we're going to put this on. This is from Sephora Cream Lip Stain. Sephora Collection Cream Lip Stain. I think it says 10-hour wear or something. It does stay that long, and longer. So this is what it looks like. I'm thinking right now in this moment that the reason I'm ambivalent about it, I'm not going to say it's my skin tone, but it's like my skin tone amplified. You know what I mean? Like it is pretty. It's pretty. I just, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just whatever eye look I have on with it. I don't know. Let me know what y'all think of this lip color with this eye look, or just the lip color by itself on me. And no, I'm not fishing for compliments. Like, I'm really just not sure if I want to keep it. Because then the question also is, am I going to use it on a regular basis? You know what I'm saying? And if it's something that I don't think I'm going to continue using, I get rid of it. I don't like to just have stuff just to have stuff. I give away a lot of stuff. I declutter a lot of stuff. Yeah, so that's that. So this is the look, y'all. And I do like it. I do like it. We'll do pictures right after. Thank y'all so much for being here with me. Thank you to, I was going to say the replay crew. Like, this is a live stream. I do 3 lives a week, y'all. Thank you for being here. Stuff is popping up over here for you to watch. Lots of information down below. Discount codes, shopping links, all that good stuff. Playlists related to this video, all of that. And so if you have time, continue to hang out. Make sure you subscribe and click join, which will show you the membership perks. Clicking join will not join you, but do check out the perks. And yes, we would love to have you join if they appeal to you. Y'all, we be having a lot of fun in our members exclusive content we do. But we're going to go. Thank you. And as always, self-acceptance, self-love. That is the crazy Troll Nation way. Thank you, and you will see me soon.